Elijah Muhammad said that his God provided him with certain truths again now. So in the Nation of Islam, we have a curriculum that belongs to the Nation of Islam called the Supreme Wisdom or the Lessons. Yes, and in these lessons, there's a small page or so called our actual facts. And these actual facts are calculations given by Elijah Muhammad's God in person to him. These calculations cover different aspects of the earth, its terrain, its geography, its relationship to the solar system. Truths that had not yet been discovered to that specificity in 1930. He talked about how the total square mileage of the earth is 196,940,000 square miles, with 57,255,000 square miles of land coming up out of 139,685,000 square miles of water. Huh? A lot of facts. Huh? He talked about the weight of the earth, that the earth was 6 sextillion tons. Now, be mindful, this is a little third, fourth grade man who dropped out of school before he could get his elementary diploma now. Okay? He was teaching these things since the 30s and said he got it from his God. He said that the earth is 93 million miles away from the sun. He even talked about the sun and the diameter of the sun, 853,000. I mean, just a lot of truths that a third grader could not derive on his own. Now, it would be different if he just made some stuff up. People make stuff up every day. But what are the chances that this stuff that you presented to the world decades later have been validated by their scientists? Huh? And if you notice, if you were able to research some of the almanacs, some of the atlases before and after 1930, you will find that modern calculations come closer and closer to what Master Farad Muhammad gave the Honorable Elijah Muhammad in the early 30s. Huh? I'm saying Elijah's God might be God, y'all. But we want to take consider this. Look at his impact in the social landscape of America and the world. Now remember, this is a man who says he was taught by God in person, who only went to the 3rd or 4th grade, who became a drunkard. He was on welfare, ended up leaving Georgia, going to Detroit, hoping for a better way of life for his wife and children. It was in this place in Detroit where he met this God in person that gave him this information and made him his divine messenger. And then this man, who may not be recognized as being the most articulate type of, leader, because you know how black folks are. We like people that talk good. They ain't talking about nothing, but as long as it sounds good, shoot, it's all right with us. Huh? But here's a man who not only did what nobody did, but look at just his students, not him, not the teacher. Look at what his students did based on what he taught them. How many of you heard of Malcolm X? How many of you love Malcolm X? How many of you admire the wisdom and character that Malcolm X conveyed before the world? This is the same Malcolm X that dropped out of school in the 8th grade. What grade? 8th. The same Malcolm X who using the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Now, if you look at a movie, they have you believing Malcolm got smart just by reading the dictionary. This is why whenever you heard Malcolm speak, he would always give credit to the man that taught him everything he knew. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us this. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us that. Mr. Muhammad's program is such and such and such. And what Mr. Muhammad is showing us is blah, blah, you see? And so Malcolm, with this 8th grade education, whooped the hell out of these scholars from Harvard, Yale, Princeton in these debates. What did he use? Was he using the teachings of Plato or Aristotle? He used the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. A man who would 8th grade criminal in jail, good for nothing? Huh? That's right. You see, you like Malcolm, but you don't want to look deeper into what made Malcolm who he was. How many of you like Muhammad Ali? Look, I'm a fan of Muhammad Ali. I get inspiration every time I look at them old fights, man. But Muhammad Ali, don't you know, at a certain point became the most popular name in the world? Popular person in the world. Was it because he just fought? Huh? What made Muhammad Ali bold and strong? What made a person who could barely read coming out of high school end up whooping people? If you listen to Muhammad Ali when he was on these shows, and these people, journalists, even scholars would try to debate him and try to turn him against his teacher, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. I can show you some stuff where Ali whooped the hell out of him with wisdom. Huh? So Ali became known as the people's champ. And according to Ali, he said Elijah Muhammad is what made me bold and strong. Huh? But see, we love Ali, but we don't want to get deep and find out where he got his strength from. Y'all heard of this man they call Farrakhan? Huh? The Honorable Louis Farrakhan, who does not have a college degree, who was a singer, calypso singer, but he got a hold of this thing called the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And obviously, he must have found it to be a little more superior than the stuff he was learning in college. And he became a follower of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and was taught by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And here's a man who to this day is the most powerful black man in America, not because of no political status, not because of any so-called educational status, but here's a man who has tremendous influence that the power structure of this world does not control. What other man do you know in the history of America or black America can call for 1 million black men to come to Washington, D.C., the nation's capital, and over 1 million show up? Not one fight. Not one argument. Huh? The largest, most peaceful demonstration of black unity in the history of the world. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I told you they don't even have it in the history books, right? Not at my school. Hey, but if you talk to him, he'll tell you everything he got. He got it from this man, Elijah Muhammad. So if the man's students can change the world, what does that say about the man? I'm trying to appeal to your sense of reason today, brothers and sisters. The man became the most powerful black man in America. How do you account for his power and influence? I mean, what are the odds of a boy who drops out of school in the 3rd or 4th grade to help his father on the farm, end up becoming a drunkard and things like that? What are the chances that a man like that would change the world and have all of this truth? You know, is it coincidental? Is he lucky? Okay, let's look at it. Here's a man who literally built an empire based on the pennies of his supporters. His supporters, especially in the early days, were almost all low lives, what we would consider low lives. I'm talking about ex-cons, you know, even prostitutes. People that he refined, changed their life, and he, with their pennies of support, he built an empire. Unprecedented. He made entrepreneurs. The most organized, the most disciplined group. Here's a man who not only set up a school, anybody can set up a school, but he set up a school system. An independent school system, having these universities of Islam in all your major cities. What? A man with a 3rd grade education, now he said he got it from God. Now I want to appeal to you skeptics in particular. What do you say he got it from? Did he meet God? Now this is something that would shake up the whole entire religious world. If Elijah Muhammad literally met God as he claimed he did, then look, that would shake up the whole world if the people knew it, that is. So I'm going to ask you, I guess you could say it's a rhetorical question because I want you to think. Where did he get his unparalleled wisdom, power, and influence from? All this stuff that he did, it's just some of it. The stuff that I just gave you, that's just some of the stuff. Just to get you thinking, you know what I mean? So with all it is, where did he get it from? And is it coincidental that he got all this information, all of these truths, was able to do all of these things, became the most powerful black man in America with no guns? And hold up, did I mention that with the most powerful opposition against him? Let me make sure I make that point right there. He did all these things and was so successful with the most opposition against him. His opposition is the powers of the American government, the powers of white and European powers, countries, heads of state. Now look, we're talking about the same America and Western world influence that can destabilize countries when they want to. They just took down Gaddafi. They just took down Iraq and destabilized it. Huh? So they can do this to countries from abroad who have military weaponry, but a black man with a third grade education, with no guns, nothing but a truth in his mouth. How the hell do you explain his success? Huh? Elijah's God must be God.